Have you ever wondered why some people remain calm even when life is falling apart, while others lose their peace over the smallest problems? Why do criticism, negativity, comparison, and other people's opinions have so much control over our emotions? The truth is, a peaceful mind isn't something you're born with, it's something you build through the right way of thinking. In this video, you'll discover 7 powerful psychological rules that will help you protect your inner peace, strengthen your emotional resilience, and remain calm no matter what life brings your way. Imagine your mind as a beautiful garden. Every single day, different seeds are scattered into it. Some are seeds of gratitude, kindness, hope, patience, and wisdom. Others are seeds of fear, comparison, resentment, anxiety, and self-doubt. The garden doesn't decide what grows. It simply grows whatever is watered consistently. Our minds work in exactly the same way. Every thought we repeat, every emotion we hold on to, every conversation we entertain, and every habit we practice quietly shapes the quality of our inner world. Many people spend years trying to change the circumstances while ignoring the condition of their minds, but lasting peace is never built from the outside in. It is always built from the inside out. Think about a lighthouse standing beside the ocean. The waves crash against it, storms surround it, powerful winds blow from every direction. Yet the lighthouse continues shining because its strength comes from a foundation that cannot be shaken by changing weather. That is what a peaceful mind looks like. It doesn't mean life becomes free from problems. It means your inner world becomes strong enough that problems no longer control your happiness. Psychology teaches us that our thoughts influence our emotions influence our actions, and our actions eventually shape our lives. When we learn to guide our thoughts wisely, we begin transforming every area of our lives without forcing the world around us to change first. Today, we'll explore 7 powerful psychological rules that will help you stop giving away your peace, strengthen your emotional intelligence, build healthier relationships, and create a calm, resilient mind that remains steady even during life's greatest challenges. Rule 1. Protect your mind by choosing what deserves your attention. Imagine walking through a beautiful garden, carrying a bucket of clean water. Everywhere you go, you pour that water onto different plants. Some of those plants are colorful flowers, others are harmful weeds. At the end of the day, both have grown stronger, not because they deserved your attention, but because you gave it to them. Your mind works in exactly the same way. Attention is one of the most valuable gifts you possess. Whatever you repeatedly focus on begins to shape your thoughts, your emotions, and eventually your life. Many people believe they lose their peace because of difficult circumstances, but often they lose their peace because they keep feeding their attention to things that slowly drain their energy. Think about how many times a single negative comment has occupied your mind while 10 compliments were quickly forgotten. One criticism echoes in your thoughts for days while countless moments of kindness pass unnoticed. The problem isn't always what happens to us. The problem is what we choose to keep replaying in our minds. The human mind naturally remembers painful experiences more strongly than pleasant ones. This helped our ancestors survive by recognizing danger. But in today's world, if we're not careful, this natural tendency can turn into a habit of constantly searching for problems instead of appreciating blessings. Imagine watching the evening news for hours every day. Story after story speaks about conflict, fear, disasters, and uncertainty. Then you spend another hour scrolling through social media, comparing your life with carefully edited versions of other people's lives. Without realizing it, your mind becomes filled with anxiety, comparison, and emotional exhaustion. Your peace begins to disappear. Not because your own life suddenly became worse, but because your attention became trapped in negativity. This is why protecting your attention is one of the greatest forms of self-care. Ask yourself a simple question throughout the day: is this thought helping me grow, or is it simply stealing my peace? That one question can completely change the direction of your thinking. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. Wisdom is not about avoiding challenges. Wisdom is about deciding which challenges truly deserve your mental energy. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every criticism deserves a place in your heart. Sometimes the strongest response is choosing silence and protecting your inner world. Imagine carrying a backpack during a long journey. Every unnecessary stone you place inside makes the walk more difficult. Negative thoughts work exactly the same way. Every unnecessary worry, every old resentment, every endless comparison becomes another stone that makes life heavier than it needs to be. Peace begins when you start removing those stones. Another important truth is that whatever captures your attention eventually shapes your identity. If you constantly focus on fear, you slowly become fearful. If you constantly focus on gratitude, you become grateful. If you constantly focus on kindness, your heart naturally becomes kinder. Your attention is constantly deciding the direction of your character. This is why the people you spend time with matter. The conversations you listen to matter. The books you read matter. The videos you watch matter. The words you repeatedly speak to yourself matter. Every one of these becomes food for your mind. Just as your body reflects the food you eat, your mind reflects the thoughts you consume every day. Think of a gardener once again. Every morning they carefully remove weeds before watering the flowers. They understand that if weeds are ignored long enough, they begin stealing nutrients from healthy plants. We must become gardeners of our own minds every day. Remove one unnecessary worry. Remove one negative belief. Live one comparison. Remove one unnecessary argument that continues living inside your thoughts. Then replace it with something that gives life. Read something inspiring. Spend time with people who encourage growth. Practice gratitude. Reflect quietly. Help someone without expecting anything in return. These simple choices may appear ordinary, but together they create an extraordinary mind. There will always be noise in the world. There will always be people offering obvious. There will always be situations trying to pull your attention away from what truly matters. But remember this powerful truth: your attention is your responsibility. Where your attention goes, your energy follows. Where your energy flows, your life begins to grow. If you consistently choose to give your attention to peace instead of panic, gratitude instead of complaint, hope instead of fear, and purpose instead of distraction, you slowly create a mind that remains calm even when the world around you becomes chaotic. A peaceful mind is not built by accident. It is built every single day through the quiet decision to protect your attention from everything that does not deserve a place within your heart. Rule 2. Stop taking everything personally. One of the quickest ways to lose your inner peace is to believe that everything people say or do is about you. Someone ignores your message and you assume they no longer value you. A colleague doesn't smile and you think you've done something wrong. Friend cancels a meeting and your mind immediately begins creating stories of rejection. Most of the time, these stories are created not by reality but by our own assumptions. Imagine standing in front of a mirror covered with dust. When you look into it, the reflection appears unclear. The problem isn't your face. The problem is the layer covering the mirror. In the same way, when our minds are filled with insecurity, fear, or past hurt, we begin interpreting everything through those emotions, instead of seeing situations as they truly are. Many of us carry invisible emotional wounds from earlier experiences. Perhaps we were criticized often as children. Perhaps we experienced rejection, betrayal, or disappointment. Without realizing it, those experiences become lenses through which we view the present. Every disagreement feels a rejection. Every piece of feedback feels like a personal attack. Every silence feels like abandonment. But the truth is, people are usually thinking far more about their own lives than they are about ours. Imagine walking through a busy marketplace. Hundreds of people pass by. Every person is carrying something invisible. One is worried about paying bills. Another is thinking about a sick parent. Someone else is anxious about an upcoming interview. Another person is grieving a recent loss. Everyone is carrying a story you cannot see. When someone speaks harshly, it may have very little to do with you. They may be exhausted. They may be overwhelmed. They may be fighting battles they don't know how to express. This doesn't excuse hurtful behavior, but it helps us understand that another person's actions often reflect their inner world more than our worth. Think of a glass filled to the top with muddy water. The slightest movement causes the water to spill. A calm, clear glass reacts very differently. Human beings are much the same. People who have not found inner peace often react from pain rather than wisdom. If you absorb every reaction personally, you begin carrying emotional burdens that never belong to you. There is a simple question that can protect your peace whenever you feel hurt by someone's behavior. Is this really about me? Or could this person be struggling with something I cannot see? That one question creates space between emotion and reaction. Another important truth is that not every opinion deserves equal importance. Imagine trying to sail a boat while listening to directions shouted from every person standing on the shore. One tells you to turn left, another tells you to turn right, someone else tells you to stop completely. If you tried pleasing everyone, your boat would never move forward. Life works the same way. People will always have opinions. Some will encourage you, some will criticize you. Some will misunderstand your intentions no matter how sincerely you explain them. If your peace depends on everyone's approval, you will spend your life exhausted. The happiest people are not those who receive no criticism. They are the ones who understand that criticism is often a reflection of another person's perspective, not a definition of their own value. This does not mean ignoring helpful advice. Constructive feedback can help us grow. Wise people remain open to learning. But there is a difference between listening with humility and allowing every opinion to control your emotions. Learn to ask yourself, is this feedback helping me become better? If the answer is yes, accept it with gratitude. If the answer is no, let it pass like a cloud moving across the sky. Clouds never stay forever. Neither do harsh opinions. Another reason we take things personally is because we expect everyone to understand our intentions, but people can only interpret our actions through the experiences they have lived. Two people may hear the same sentence and understand it in completely different ways. One sees kindness, another hears criticism. The words may be identical, but their life experiences pretty deep for meanings. This is why trying to control how everyone perceives you is impossible. Instead of spending your energy managing every opinion, spend your energy becoming a person of integrity. When your heart is honest, your intentions are pure, and your actions are guided by kindness, you no longer feel the need to defend yourself against every misunderstanding. Over time, your character speaks louder than temporary opinions. There is another beautiful lesson nature teaches us. A mountain does not become smaller because someone standing at its base calls it insignificant. The mountain simply continues standing with quiet strength. In the same way, your want does not increase because someone praises you, and it does not decrease because someone criticizes you. Your value is not determined by changing opinions. It is revealed through the consistency of your character. The more you understand this truth, the lighter your heart becomes. You stop carrying unnecessary emotional weight. You stop replaying every conversation in your mind. You stop searching for hidden meanings behind every action. Instead, you give people the benefit of the doubt. You communicate with honesty. You learn from genuine feedback. And then you let go of everything else. A peaceful mind is not one that never experiences criticism. It is one that refuses to let every opinion become a permanent resident in the heart. Rule 3. Replace constant comparison with genuine gratitude. One of the quietest thieves of happiness is comparison. It rarely announces itself loudly. Instead, it slips into our minds through small moments. You see someone buying a new house, and suddenly your own home feels smaller. You hear about a friend's promotion, and your own achievements begin to seem insignificant. You scroll through social media, looking at smiling faces, luxurious vacations, and successful careers, and without even realizing it, your joy begins to disappear. The strange thing is that nothing in your own life has actually changed. The only thing that changed was your focus. Imagine two travelers climbing different mountains. One traveler spends the entire journey looking across at the other mountain, wishing they had chosen that path. They become so busy comparing their journey that they forget to enjoy the breathtaking view right in front of them. The second traveler focuses on each step, appreciates the scenery, and celebrates every bit of progress. Both are climbing, but only one experiences peace. Life is very much like that. Comparison convinces us that happiness always exists somewhere else. It whispers, "You'll finally be happy when you have what they have." But the moment you achieve one goal, comparison simply finds someone who has gone a little further. It is a race with no finish line. This is why comparison can never satisfy the human heart. Every person is walking a different path. Every life has different lessons, different struggles, different blessings, and a different timeline. Think about a garden filled with roses, sunflowers, lilies, and jasmine. Imagine if the rose spent every day wishing it were as tall as the sunflower. Or if the sunflower became unhappy because it didn't have the fragrance of jasmine. The beauty of the garden would disappear because every flower was trying to become something it was never meant to be. Nature teaches us an important truth. Everything has its own season. A mango tree does not become jealous because an apple tree bears fruit at a different time. It patiently grows according to its own nature. Human life follows the same principle. Some people achieve success early, some discover their purpose later in life. Some build strong families. Others dedicate themselves to serving society. No two journeys are identical, and they were never meant to be. The problem begins when we measure our entire life against someone else's highlight moments. We compare our everyday struggles with another person's greatest achievements. We compare our behind-the-scenes reality with someone else's carefully presented image. But every smiling face hides unseen battles. Every successful person has experienced failure. Every confident person has known self-doubt. Every peaceful person has walked through difficult seasons. The stories we compare ourselves to are often incomplete. Gratitude changes this completely. Instead of asking, "Why don't I have what they have?" gratitude asks, "How many blessings have I forgotten to notice?" Suddenly your attention shifts. You begin appreciating your health. You value the people who genuinely care about you. You become thankful for the opportunities already in front of you. You recognize that while your life may not be perfect, it is still filled with gifts that many people would gladly receive. Imagine receiving a beautiful gift from someone you deeply love. Instead of opening it with joy, you spend the entire time looking at someone else's gift. Eventually, you miss the beauty of what was placed in your own hands. Life offers us blessings every single day, but comparison keeps our eyes fixed somewhere else. Gratitude gently brings our attention back. Another beautiful habit is learning to celebrate other people's success without feeling threatened by it. Someone else's achievement does not reduce your potential. Another person's happiness does not steal yours. The sky never runs out of stars simply because one shines brightly. There is enough room in life for everyone to grow, succeed, and flourish in their own unique way. When you celebrate others sincerely, your heart becomes lighter, jealousy fades, bitterness disappears. Relationships become healthier because you stop viewing life as a competition. Instead, you begin seeing it as a shared journey where every person's success can become a source of inspiration rather than insecurity. Each morning, take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be extraordinary. The warmth of sunlight, a healthy body, a loving family, a good friend, the ability to learn, the opportunity to begin again. These simple moments slowly retrain your mind to notice abundance instead of lack. Over time, gratitude becomes more than an exercise, it becomes the way you see the world. And when gratitude becomes your daily habit, comparison gradually loses its power. You stop chasing someone else's life, you begin appreciating your own. You walk your path with confidence instead of envy. You celebrate your progress instead of criticizing your pace. Because true happiness is never found in becoming someone else, it is found in becoming the best version of yourself while remaining deeply thankful for the life you have already been given. Feel for, learn to respond instead of react. One of the greatest differences between a peaceful mind and a restless mind is not the number of problems they face, it is the way they respond to those problems. Many people spend years trying to change the world around them, while forgetting that the greatest transformation begins with changing the space between an event and the reaction. Imagine someone throws a spark onto dry grass. If the grass is dry, the fire spreads within seconds, but if the ground has been watered well, the same spark quickly dies out. Our minds work in exactly the same way. When our hearts are filled with the anger, stress, insecurity, or frustration, even a small criticism can ignite an emotional fire. But when the mind has been nourished with patience and wisdom, the same situation loses its power. Life constantly presents us with moments that test our emotional strength. Someone interrupts you while you're speaking, a stranger behaves rudely, a family member says something hurtful, your plans suddenly fall apart, traffic makes you late. A mistake at work creates unexpected pressure. These situations are often beyond your control. What remains completely within your control is the response you choose. Many people believe their emotions force them to react, but emotions are like waves in the ocean. They rise, they become strong, then they slowly settle again. If you make important decisions while standing in the middle of an emotional storm, you often create problems that last much longer than the emotion itself. Think about a cup filled with hot tea. If someone accidentally bumps into you, the tea spills out. Why? Because that is what was already inside the cup. Life bumps into us every single day. Whatever comes out during those moments reveals what has been quietly living inside us. If anger comes out easily, perhaps there is unresolved hurt within. If patience appears, perhaps wisdom has taken root. If kindness remains even under pressure, it shows that your character has become stronger than your circumstances. This is why inner work is so important. A peaceful response begins long before the difficult moment arrives. It is built through daily habits of reflection, gratitude, self-awareness, and emotional discipline. One of the most powerful psychological habits you can develop is learning to pause. Just one pause, one deep breath, one moment of silence before speaking. That tiny space can completely change the outcome of a conversation. Imagine an archer aiming at a target. Before releasing the arrow, they become completely still. If they shoot impulsively, the arrow misses its mark. Our words are very similar. Once spoken, they cannot be taken back. A few seconds of patience can prevent years of regret. There is another important truth. Not every situation deserves an emotional reaction. Sometimes people speak carelessly because they are frustrated. Sometimes they misunderstand your intentions. Sometimes they simply have a different opinion. If you react to every comment, every disagreement, and every criticism, you will spend your entire life emotionally exhausted. Wisdom teaches us to ask, will this matter 1 week from now, 1 month from now, 1 year from now? Very often the answer is no, yet we sacrifice our peace over moments that quickly disappear. Learning to respond also means choosing curiosity instead of assumption. When someone behaves unexpectedly, don't immediately conclude that they intended to hurt you. Instead, ask gentle questions, listen carefully. Seek understanding. Before judgment, many conflicts grow not because people are cruel, but because they misunderstand one another. A calm conversation can solve problems that anger only makes worse. There is a beautiful lesson found in bamboo. During powerful storms, bamboo bends with the wind instead of resisting it. Because it bends, it rarely breaks. Our minds become stronger when they learn the same flexibility. Responding with wisdom is not weakness, it is strength under control. It is the ability to remain kind without becoming powerless. It is the ability to remain calm without becoming passive. It is choosing peace over pride. Over time, this habit transforms every area of your life. Your relationships become healthier because people feel heard instead of attacked. Your decisions become wiser because they are guided by clarity rather than impulse. Your heart becomes lighter because you stop carrying the weight of unnecessary conflicts. People may still criticize you, life may still surprise you, challenges will continue to appear. But instead of becoming a prisoner of every emotion, you become the quiet observer of your thoughts. You begin choosing your responses with intention, and slowly something remarkable happens. The situations that once stole your peace no longer control your mind. Because true emotional strength is not found in controlling other people. It is found in mastering your own response, one thoughtful moment at a time. Rule 5. Accept one you cannot control. One of the greatest causes of anxiety is trying to control things that were never ours to control. We want people to think a certain way. We want life to unfold exactly according to our plans. We want every effort to bring immediate success and every relationship to remain exactly as it is. But life has its own rhythm, and the more tightly we try to control everything, the more exhausted we become. Imagine standing beside a river and trying to stop its flow with your bare hands. No matter how hard you push, the water continues moving. After a while, your arms become tired, your body becomes weak, and your frustration grows. The river is not fighting against you. It is simply doing what rivers are meant to do. Life often feels the same. There are events that are completely beyond our control. The weather changes without asking for our permission. People make decisions based on their own understanding. Opportunities come and go. Unexpected challenges appear without warning. Time keeps moving forward, no matter how much we wish to hold on to a particular moment. The problem is not that these things happen. The problem begins when we refuse to accept that they are part of life. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It does not mean becoming passive or losing hope. Acceptance simply means recognizing reality before deciding how to respond wisely. Imagine a sailor crossing the ocean. A sailor cannot command the wind to blow in the perfect direction every day, but they can adjust the sails, they can study the waves, they can remain patient during storms and continue moving when the wind changes. A wise life is lived the same way. You cannot always choose your circumstances, but you can always choose your attitude. Many people spend years asking questions that have no answers. Why did this happen to me? Why didn't they appreciate me? Why didn't life go according to my plan? These questions often keep us trapped in the past. A better question is, now that this has happened, what is the wisest step I can take? That single shift changes everything. The tourist. Think about a gardener. The gardener cannot control when the rain will come. They cannot command the seasons to change. But they can prepare the soil. They can remove the weeds. They can water the plants when needed. They focus their energy on what is within their control. Eventually, nature rewards their patience. Our minds become peaceful when we adopt the same approach. There is another hidden burden that comes from trying to control everything. It creates constant fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty, fear of losing people we love. Yet life has always been uncertain. Trying to eliminate uncertainty only creates more anxiety. Learning to live wisely within uncertainty creates peace. Think about breathing. You inhale, then you exhale. If you tried holding every breath forever because you feared letting it go, you would suffer. Life teaches the same lesson. Some moments are meant to stay, others are meant to pass. Some people walk beside us for many years, others are part of only one chapter. Trying to hold on to everything prevents us from appreciating what is here today. Acceptance allows us to live fully in the present. It teaches us gratitude instead of constant resistance. Another important truth is that acceptance strengthens resilience. When difficult situations arise, people who resist reality often become overwhelmed. People who accept reality begin looking for solutions. One asks, "This should never have happened." The other asks, "What can I learn from this?" One remains trapped. The other continues growing. The difference is not the challenge, the difference is the mindset. Nature gives us another beautiful example. A tree cannot stop the arrival of autumn. Instead of fighting the season, it gently lets go of its leaves. At first, it appears empty, but hidden beneath the surface, it is preparing for spring. If the tree refused to let go, new leaves would never have room to grow. Our lives also require seasons of letting go. Sometimes we must release old disappointments. Sometimes we must release expectations that no longer serve us. Sometimes we must release relationships, habits, or fears that keep us stuck. Only then can new opportunities enter our lives. Acceptance is not surrender to defeat. It is surrender to reality. And reality is where wisdom begins. When you stop fighting every circumstance you cannot change, you discover something extraordinary. You have more energy, more patience, more clarity, more peace. Because your heart is no longer carrying battles that were never yours to win. You begin investing your energy where it truly matters. In your character, in your actions, in your choices, in your growth. And that is where real transformation quietly begins. A peaceful mind is not created by controlling every event in life. It is created by mastering the beautiful art of accepting what you cannot control, while courageously improving everything you can. Rule 6. Set healthy emotional boundaries without guilt. 1. The biggest misunderstandings about kindness is believing that being a good person means saying yes to everyone. Many people spend their lives trying to make others happy while quietly neglecting their own emotional well-being. They fear that saying no will make them look selfish. They worry that setting boundaries will disappoint people. So they continue giving, sacrificing, and pleasing everyone around them until one day they realize they have completely exhausted themselves. Imagine carrying a glass of water in your hand. At first, it feels light. Holding it for a minute is easy. Holding it for an hour becomes painful. Holding it all day becomes unbearable. The weight of the glass never changed. What changed was how long you carried it. Emotional burdens work the same way. When you continue carrying everyone's expectations, everyone's problems, and everyone's emotions without allowing yourself to rest, your heart becomes tired. You begin losing the peace you worked so hard to build. A peaceful mind understands an important truth. You can be compassionate without carrying responsibilities that do not belong to you. Think about an airplane before takeoff. The safety instructions always tell passengers to put on their own oxygen mask before helping someone else. At first, this advice may sound selfish, but in reality, it is wisdom. If you lose consciousness because you ignored your own needs, you cannot help anyone else. Life follows the same principle. Taking care of your emotional health is not selfish. It is responsible. When your heart is healthy, your kindness becomes genuine. Rather than forced, your patience becomes deeper. Your relationships become stronger because you are giving from a place of peace instead of exhaustion. Many people confuse love with constant availability. They believe they must answer every phone call immediately, solve every problem, accept every request, agree with every opinion, remain silent whenever someone crosses their boundaries. But real love does not require losing yourself. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not constant sacrifice. Imagine a beautiful garden without a fence. Anyone can walk in. Some people admire the flowers, others unknowingly step on them. Some may even remove the plants completely. The fence does not exist because the gardener dislikes people. It exists because beautiful things need protection. Your mind is exactly like that garden. Your peace deserves protection. Your time deserves protection. Your energy deserves protection. Not everyone should have unlimited access to your emotional world. Setting boundaries does not mean becoming cold or distant. It simply means deciding what behavior you will and will not allow into your life. Sometimes the kindest word you can say is no, not because you don't care, but because saying yes to everything eventually means saying no to your own peace. There is another important truth. You are not responsible for managing everyone's emotions. People may become disappointed when you set healthy boundaries. Some may misunderstand your intentions. Others may accuse you of changing. But remember this. Someone who benefits from your lack of boundaries may struggle when you begin creating them. That discomfort does not mean you are doing something wrong. It often means you are finally respecting yourself. Another powerful habit is learning to recognize emotional manipulation. Sometimes people use guilt to control others. They may say, if you really cared about me, after everything I've done for you, you've changed. These words can make you question yourself. But kindness given through guilt is not true kindness. Real love allows freedom. Real respect honors healthy limits. Real relationships grow stronger when both people feel emotionally safe. Think about the sun. It shines generously every single day. Yet it also sets each evening. Even the sun understands the importance of rest. If nature itself follows a rhythm of giving and renewing, why should human beings expect themselves to give endlessly without caring for their own hearts? Taking time for silence is healthy. Protecting your peace is healthy. Stepping away from constant negativity is healthy. Choosing relationships that encourage growth instead of emotional exhaustion is healthy. These are not acts of selfishness, they are acts of wisdom. The more you value your emotional well being, the more peaceful your life becomes. You stop saying yes because of fear, you begin saying yes because of purpose. You stop helping others to gain approval, beaming, helping from genuine compassion. And because your heart is no longer overwhelmed by unnecessary emotional weight, you become more present, more patient, and more loving with the people who truly matter. A peaceful mind understands that protecting your own heart is not a barrier to loving others. It is the very foundation that allows love, kindness, and compassion to flow freely without losing yourself in the process. Rule 7. Create daily habits that strengthen your inner peace. A peaceful mind is not built in one extraordinary moment. It is built through ordinary choices repeated every single day. Many people believe peace will arrive when life finally becomes easier. They tell themselves, I'll feel calm after I solve all my problems. I'll be happy after I earn more money. I'll relax once everything is under control. But life rarely becomes free from challenges. One problem is replaced by another. One responsibility leads to the next. If peace depends on perfect circumstances, peace will always remain somewhere in the future. The truth is, inner peace is not something you find, it is something you practice. Imagine a musician performing a beautiful melody before thousands of people. The audience hears effortless music, but they do not see the countless mornings spent practicing alone. They do not witness the mistakes, the repetition, and the quiet discipline that made the performance possible. Things works the same way. The calmness people admire during difficult situations is usually the result of small daily habits practiced long before the challenge appeared. Think of your mind as a house. Every morning you have the opportunity to decide what enters that house. Will you begin your day with gratitude or complaint? With purpose or distraction? With silence or endless noise? The first few moments of your morning often shape the emotional direction of your entire day. Imagine waking up and immediately reaching for your phone. Within minutes, your mind becomes filled with breaking news, social media comparisons, arguments, advertisements, and endless notifications. Before your feet even touch the ground, your peace has already been challenged. Now imagine a different beginning. You wake up a little earlier, you sit quietly for a few minutes, you take a deep breath, you express gratitude for another day of life. You read a few pages of something uplifting, you ask yourself, how can I bring kindness into someone's life today? Nothing dramatic has happened, yet your mind begins the day with clarity instead of confusion. These small habits become powerful because they are repeated consistently. A river does not shape a mountain through one powerful wave, it shapes it through continuous flow. Likewise, your habits slowly shape your character. Every act of gratitude strengthens contentment. Every moment of reflection strengthens wisdom. Every act of forgiveness strengthens emotional freedom. Every kind word strengthens compassion. Every healthy choice strengthens self-respect. Little by little, your inner world becomes stronger than the outer world's chaos. Another essential habit is learning to protect moments of silence. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Messages arrive every minute. Conversations never seem to end. Screens compete for every spare second. Without quiet moments, the mind becomes crowded. Think about a glass of muddy water. If you continue stirring it, the water never becomes clear. But if you place it down and allow it to remain still, the mud slowly settles. Your mind behaves exactly the same way. Silence allows emotional dust to settle. It creates space for wisdom to appear. It helps you hear your own thoughts instead of being controlled by everyone else's opinions. This is why even a few minutes of peaceful reflection each day can completely change the quality of your life. Another habit that protects inner peace is choosing your environment carefully. Imagine placing a healthy plant in polluted soil. No matter how much sunlight it receives, it struggles to grow. Now place the same plant in rich soil with clean water and fresh air. Its growth becomes natural. Human beings are deeply influenced by their surroundings. The people you spend time with shape your thinking. The conversations you repeatedly hear shape your beliefs. The books you read shape your perspective. The content you consume shapes your emotions. Ask yourself honestly, does my environment help me become calmer, kinder, and wiser? If the answer is no, perhaps it is time to make small but meaningful changes, spend more time with people who encourage growth, reduce unnecessary negativity, read words that inspire hope, choose conversations that bring wisdom instead of gossip. These decisions quietly protect your peace. There's another habit that many people overlook: rest. Many people feel guilty when they pause. They believe constant busyness is the same as productivity. But even nature follows rhythms of rest. The sun sets, the seasons change. The earth becomes quiet each night. Rest is not laziness, rest is renewal. A rested mind makes wiser decisions. A rested heart loves more deeply. A rested spirit handles challenges with greater patience. Finally, end each day with reflection rather than regret. Before sleeping, ask yourself three simple questions. What did I learn today? What am I grateful for today? How can I become a little better tomorrow? These questions gently guide your mind toward growth instead of self-criticism. Over time, they become a powerful habit of continuous transformation. Remember, extraordinary lives are rarely built through extraordinary days. They are built through ordinary days lived with extraordinary awareness. Every peaceful thought, every kind action, every patient response, every grateful prayer, every moment of quiet reflection becomes another brick in the foundation of your inner peace. Months from now, people may notice that you have become calmer, more joyful, more patient, more resilient. They may wonder what changed. The answer will not be one dramatic event, it will be the countless small habits you practiced faithfully when nobody was watching. Because a peaceful mind is never created by chance, it is created one day, one choice, and one habit at a time. As we come to the end of this journey, take a quiet moment and ask yourself one simple question: what has been stealing my inner peace? And what am I willing to let go of today? Remember, a peaceful mind is not a gift that only a fortunate few receive. It is something each of us can build through the choices we make every single day. You cannot always control what happens around you. You cannot control every opinion, every challenge, or every unexpected twist that life brings, but you can always choose your response. You can choose what deserves your attention, what thoughts you allow to stay in your mind, and what kind of person you decide to become. Real peace is not found when life becomes perfect. It is found when your heart becomes strong enough to remain calm in an imperfect world. Every time you choose gratitude over comparison, patience over anger, understanding over judgment, and acceptance over resistance, you take another step toward a life filled with lasting peace. Don't try to change everything overnight. Begin with one small habit today. Protect your attention. Take a few moments of silence. Forgive someone who has been living rent-free in your mind. Say no to what drains your energy and yes to what nourishes your soul. Small choices, repeated consistently, have the power to completely transform your inner world. Always remember, the strongest person is not the one who controls everyone around them. The strongest person is the one who has learned to master their own mind. And when your mind is at peace, no storm can shake your foundation for long. If this message brought value to your life, share it with someone who may need a little peace today. And if you'd like more wisdom on living with purpose, emotional strength, and inner happiness, subscribe to the channel and continue this journey with us. Until next time, protect your peace, guard your heart, and never stop becoming the calm, wise, and compassionate person you were meant to be.